G'day everyone, this is another Footyology match dispatch. We are reporting on St Kilda's triumphant 29-point victory over Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. It is the Saints' first win over the Power in 9 attempts, believe it or not, their last win coming all the way back in 2011. In fact, prior to this week, they'd never won at Adelaide Oval. They've now won there twice in 6 days after last Monday night's win over the Crows. Let's have a quick look at the scores, and a fantastic last quarter by St Kilda, bringing home the bacon. 5 goals straight in the last quarter to Port's measly 2 behinds. And what an incredible scoreline too, 12 goals won. St Kilda's gone from being one of the least accurate teams in the AFL to easily the most accurate. Just shows you how important conversion is these days in a game of limited opportunities. The Saints really were good from the start in this game. They had first points on the board through Rowan Marshall, who was terrific again all night for them in the ruck, and a presence up forward as well. It was goal for goal, though, for much of the first half, and indeed the first 3 quarters. Sam Pepper answered that for Port. Robbie Gray got in the lead and gave Port a narrow lead at quarter time. The second quarter, St Kilda began to get the ascendancy towards the back half of that second term. A couple of opportunistic goals really paying off for them. Nick Hind got a holding the ball decision on Pepper, and then the benefit of a 50-metre penalty after Darcy Byrne-Jones unfortunately kicked the ball away. Tim Membry got one off the ground, and St Kilda was able to go to the halftime break just a handful of points in front. Hard going in that third quarter, 2 goals each in the third term. Port looked to get a good start. Charlie Dixon kicked a goal in under a minute after the resumption from the first set of bounce clearance of that term. St Kilda answered though. Dean Kent ran into an open goal, and then Rowan Marshall kicked another one, and they led by 7 points. Terrific bit of play for the Power by Xavier Dersma, who managed to just squeeze in front of Paddy Ryder, take a mark and convert, and the margin was back to a solitary point at 3-quarter time. Anyone's game. And look, you thought it was going to finish a nail-biter, but St Kilda just absolutely dominated the final quarter. It was just a tidal wave out of the centre in the finish. They got a really good start where Jade Gresham managed to kick things off. Then a real clanger from the veteran Justin Westhoff, who had a last-minute reprieve at the selection table, perhaps wishing he hadn't after a kick went skew-if straight into the arms of Dan Butler, and he managed to give the Saints a bit of breathing space. Paddy Ryder then really agile bit of work after flying for a mark, gathered the ball and bounced a goal through. And then arguably the most amazing goal you'll see this year, with the ball going to the St Kilda goal line, Tom Jonas going to punch it through. But Tim Membry had managed to fling his boot into the air, and Jonas's fist on the ball went straight to his boot. The field umpire, in fact, called for the review, and after everyone thought it was a point, the ARC decided that it was a goal, and that basically had St Kilda over the line. A bit of cream on the cake then from Max King, who was quiet this evening, but took a strong grab to make the difference, the best part of 5 goals. Like I said, all St Kilda's way in that final term, a really emphatic win in the end, and they'll get a heap of motivation out of this victory. Great players for them. I thought Rowan Marshall again in the ruck, terrific all night. Standout for me though, Hunter Clark off half-back. He's just such a cool, composed player for a youngster, and he just knocked up getting kicks and using them to the Saints' advantage. Terrific player for them. Zach Jones, really good, really hard in and under, laid plenty of tackles. Jade Gresham, pretty good. And Jack Billings, handy also. Had a pretty even spread of contributors, the Saints. Best player support, a lot harder to come by. Darcy Byrne-Jones having an outstanding season. I thought he was clearly Port's best again. After that, a bit of a struggle. Ollie Wines kept going all evening, won his share of the ball. Xavier Dersma had his moments. Sam Pepper bobbed up here and there, and Tom Jonas resolute in defence. But the forwards pretty well beaten tonight. Charlie Dixon didn't get much of a look in. The small forwards found it a lot hard going, and Robbie Gray too, really well held, as was Travis Boak in the midfield, really well held by Jack Steele for the Saints. So there it is, the bottom line, Port Adelaide's second defeat only of the season, hopefully not too much of a setback for them, but a great win for St Kilda, who are now 5-3 and temporarily at least third on the ladder. So a finals berth for the Saints looking a real possibility. I mentioned their last win over Port coming all the way back in 2011. Well, that was the year of their last finals appearance too. So perhaps something of an omen in this win this evening. Certainly a great one for Saints fans. And like I said, that scoreline, 12 goals won. You've got to take your chances, and the Saints are certainly doing that in season 2020. That's it for another Footyology Match Dispatch. We'll see you later.